All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kodash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching His word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii coming to you with another quick lesson. And this lesson is on the term anti-Shemism, okay? I can't really say the word because I don't want to get the video taken down. I'd rather edify than to, poke the devil. But the point of the matter is I kind of wanted to go into the definition because a lot of times, when people mention this word, they say, well, where there are other Shemites, there are more Shemites than just the Jebrews. And that's correct. There are, But the term Shemism is not really a term that includes all Shemitic people. And that's what I wanted to kind of focus on. As you can see in this, the thumbnail, you got Kanye West anti-ism rants have a growing fandom on TikTok, which that is true. Like now people are looking into it because you can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth. And some of the stuff he was saying was on point. The fact that we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, starting with the so-called Negro in America, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian. These people comprise of the nation of Israel, and they have not been taken off the earth, okay? Just like the Edomite nation have not been taken off the earth. When you look up, what archaeological evidence or what evidence do they have to prove that the Edomites don't exist, they'll try to point back to the Nabateans, and they'll try to point to the Babylonian era when the Edomites were still around. A lot of them went all over the world, and you see them today. They're in rulership, they're in power, and the nation of Edom is in power via his top tribe, his head tribe is Amalek. Okay, and so when you look up this word again, Salakia, just going through some of this stuff, it says bad boy billionaire Elon Musk deletes support of Kanye and Trump following accusations of anti-Semitism. Which these Jebrews, they own everything. They own and operate all facets of industry around the world. I would say America, but it's not just America. It's across the globe. And in the reality, they're not trying to cancel this man, because he's in the public. If they wanted to get rid of this dude, they would just get him up out of there, and you would never hear nothing about this dude. So this shows you that his agenda is he's part of the agenda. And then you got these Amalekites looking for sympathy. That's what they do. They have to do that via their protocols. They have to drum up sympathy for them to keep people at a distance, at bay from what they're really doing. Because these people are not the Lord's people. Even these people like this dude, Jon Stewart, he's talking all of this Jewish rhetoric and bigotry and shit. But the so-called white man, you created a system of bigotry. You created a system of oppression and what you call racism and hate speech. You created this world that we live in this system through hate. It wasn't through love. It wasn't through cooperation with the nations and righteousness. It was wickedness. So let's get into it. The term anti-Semitism, right? So it says also spell anti-Semitism or anti-Semitism is hostility, prejudice towards, or discrimination against Jebrews. And that's exactly what that is. It has nothing to do with the other Shemitic nations that come out of Shem. A person who holds such position is called an anti-Semite. And it's which Kanye West, he don't have no power to really discriminate against these people. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it'll stop them from doing what they're doing. They don't want all eyes on them, which is too late. The Lord put the eyes on you. Okay, it says anti-ism is considered to be a form of racism. And now I just want to scroll down to it because this is what it really means. It says the root word Semite gives the false impression that anti-ism is directed against all Semitic people. E.g., or example given including Arabs, Assyrians, and Armenians. And there are other Semitic people too, like the Chinese, Japanese, Moabites, and Ammonites. That's who they biblically are. The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Elam, so-called East Indians. Okay? It says the compound word anti-Semitism is a Semitismus was first used in print in Germany in 1879 as a scientific sounding term for Judenhass, which is Jew hatred. And this has been its common use since then. So whenever somebody brings up the term, this term that we're seeing on the screen, it's really focused on the hatred of the hatred of a certain people, the so-called hatred. Because in reality, what hatred is being enacted on these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, from what nations? Like, what nations are horribly oppressing these people that they can't live anymore? And I always bring up this woman named Helen Thomas, right? She was a lesbian. She was a Lebanese. She was a Lebanese journalist. She interviewed many presidents, but at the end of her life, the devil canceled her out for her rhetoric against these people. And all she said was, when asked about the question, what should these people do, she said that they should go home. Right? They should go home, back to Poland and back to Russia, back to America, the places that they came from, because they're not being harmed there. And as soon as she said that, they got rid of her, man. So yeah, she was a Lebanese. Let me see. It's Thomas. Okay, I'll give a brief biography. It says Thomas worked for United Press and Post, 1958 Success United Press, for 57 years. First as a correspondent and later as a White House bureau manager. She then served as a columnist and for the Eris newspaper from 2000 to 2010. Let's skip down. Here it is right here. It says Thomas retired from the Eris newspaper in June 7, 2010, following controversial remarks she made about Israel, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and potentially Israeli Jews. In an impromptu, uninstructed, amateur short interview, when solicited for any comments on Israel, she replied, "Tell them to get the hell out of Palestine," leading to multiple accusations of anti-Islam. She then served as an opinion columnist at the Falls Church News Press until February 2012. And that's what happened. I don't know if they're going to get into the controversy, but she had that was a huge controversy for her, and it destroyed her career. They basically deleted all the things that she had accomplished her long life, and she lived almost to be 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? I think she's like, let me see how old was she when she died. Yeah, she was 92 years old, man. So she was out here kicking the real. Now, I'm not saying she had the best interest of the real Israelites or anything, but she was given an honest opinion. And that's the thing. They keep it so that you cannot speak against these people. You cannot bring up anything against these people. Meanwhile, they get the forward Edomite supremacy across the earth. Look at this shit. A hyper-realistic Jesus put on display, right? It says, ultra-realistic model of Jesus Christ made from silicone latex and human hair has been put on display at a Salmanisia Cathedral in Spain. The exhibit, named The Mystery Man, utilizes data from the Shroud of Turin, which is a lie, and depicts Jesus' crucifixion wounds in grisly detail, which the Lord name isn't Jesus. A so-called white man was not crucified on a cross for the sins of the Israelites, nor the whole world. But this is white supremacy. And this shit gets to flourish. Just like what they're pushing is Edomite supremacy. And they're trying to hide it, and they're trying to use deceit, and they're trying to drum up, what is it called? Sympathetic support. But they get to keep pushing this shit around. This the kind of shit that that gets pushed around the world. And it's nothing more than Edomite supremacy. They're just making shit up. Because this Yahweh Shai, when he was on that cross, he didn't look like this. First of all, he didn't look like a so-called white man. And he was so battered and bruised that you couldn't even make his face out. That's how bad it was, man. And them wounds were a whole lot deeper than what they're depicting here. And he was a so-called black man. And this ain't the first. In this era, we're not the first to say it, man. They've been saying this shit for decades, man. They've been chanting down this devil's depiction of who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. And this is the image that's in the minds of mad people. But this is not called anti-Semitic. This is not called hate. But in reality, it's all of those things. It's every last one of them things. See, Esau can be everybody in the world, but the true children of Israel can't be anybody except what the white man tell us we are. So this is 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Who's that man of sin? Esau, Edom. He's being revealed as the man of sin, because that's all he does. Everything this man does is driven by sin, wickedness, and evil. Everything that's adverse to the God of the Bible. They say they believe in somebody named Jesus Christ. But won't you read the scriptures and see what it say? This man doesn't keep any of those commandments that are being pushed, because he's not an Israelite. And so, hey, this whole anti-Sem situation, this is nothing more than this man being revealed. You know, and Kanye is not saying nothing that we haven't been saying. The apostles and the elders and brothers on down that believe in Yahweh Shai have been saying. You know, we've been saying all of this stuff. Only thing is that Esau can control this man, and he can cancel this man and cut this man off. But he can't do that to us. You know, his rhetoric, his sympathetic views, his world views, these people's opinions, they're not going to change our belief and faith in Yahweh Shai. Let's keep on reading. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the God, that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Let's look at the translation comparison. It says this in the NLT: he will exalt himself and defy everything that people call God, and every object of worship. He will even sit in the temple of God, claiming that he himself is God. And this is what they're doing. This is exactly what the super elite, who are Jebrew families, this is exactly what their warlocks like Noah Harari are talking about. They're trying to sit and say that they are God. Their technology, their ingenuity, their inventions, this makes them a God. You know? He is exalting himself. He said he is God. He is God's people. God looks like him. The one they ignorantly call Christ looks like him. Everybody that's of substance is a so-called white man. Everybody. Which baffles me. You look up great people of the past. Everybody's an Edomite. As if there was no people of color doing things that surpass what you've been taught. You know? And it's all Edomite supremacy. It's all Edomite supremacy. You know? And whether it's anti-Ishism or whether it's this kind of shit right here. This is Edomite supremacy. Because the scriptures don't speak of the man Yahweh Shai looking like this. The son of God looking like this at all. You know? But just like everything else, when you go into the Middle Ages, all those families, those noble houses they speak of, man, were all black, so-called black people, man. But you would never know. And there's literature on it. We brought it out. Hey, I got a book right here. Yeah, I got this book right here called, I always bring this book out. This is called The Secret Service of John Mackey. He was a spy for Queen Anne and I think also William of Orange in the Great Revolution. And this guy, right, he gives a physical description of the people of the court at that particular time. And I'll give an example. This is the dude named Algernon Capel, Earl of Essex. Is a son of that earl. Whole throat was cut in the Tower in the reign of King Charles II. This gentleman was one of the bedchambers to King William all his reign, attended him all his companions, and at regiment and dragoons. He is good companion, loves the interests of his country, have no genius for business, nor will ever apply himself that way. He married the Lord Portland's daughter. The queen continues him in his regiment. I'll get to the point. He is a well-bred gentleman, brown complexion, and well-shaped. Now let's look this dude up. Algernon Capel of Essex, Earl of Essex. And this is an example of what we're talking about. We just gave you an example. I'll read it again. It says Algernon Capel, Earl of Essex, right? It says that he is a what? He is a well-bred gentleman, brown complexioned and well-shaped, but his mouth is always open. He is in about 30 years old. But look at this. This is supposed to be Algernon Capel of Essex, Earl of Essex. Right here. Algernon Capel, 2nd Earl of Essex. Let's go to the Wikipedia real quick. Look at this. This is not him. This is white supremacy right here. Right? It says he was the son of Arthur Capel I, the Earl of Essex, by his wife Elizabeth Percy, the daughter of Algernon Percy. Okay, it says after his father's suicide, Capel, because his dad cut his throat, Capel became the 2nd Earl of Essex. He held the office of gentleman at the bedchamber, we just read this, of King William III, we just read this, in 1691 and 1702 as a Lord Lieutenant of Hertfordshire. He was Colonel of Hertfordshire Dragoons. He was the Colonel of the 4th Dragoons between 1693 and 1710. And by this time, Jake was already in captivity, hardcore captivity in the Americas. But yet you still had Israelites still in noble positions in power. And this is not him. I just showed you. I'll show it to you again. It says right here, he is a well-bred gentleman, brown complexion, well-shaped, but his mouth is always open. So who the fuck is this dude? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with these images, with the images of the one that we call Jesus Christ, with the whole J-Brew situation. These people have been able to control the narrative for so long, and now they see that narrative slipping out of their hands. And this is the reason why they're doing the things that they're doing. And I'll end it off with St. John chapter 8, verse 43. Yahweh Shah was cursing Jake out because they were all into this devil. It says, why do you not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And they were talking about, they said they have no king but Caesar, man. And our people believed in Caesar, especially the ones that was doing well, because they were given position and power amongst the people, right? But our people didn't believe, not all of them, but those ones in high position in Israel in that day, they didn't believe Yahweh Shah was the Messiah. Or they knew he was, but they didn't want to account him for it, because they knew that their position would be taken away if, he was crowned king. But he didn't come for that at that particular time. He was coming to heal a nation. And he wasn't a so-called white man. And neither are the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah are so-called black people. The tribe of Judah are so-called black people. The tribe of Levi are so-called black people. The tribe of Benjamin, so-called black people. And all the rest of the tribes are so-called black and brown people. The Israelites. Okay, so I just wanted to make a quick lesson on that. Hopefully you stay up. Hopefully you're edified with that. Shalom, on to the next.